Hello guys, I would like to show you our 911 GT3 Cup car. Let's start from the front.
Yes.
Here we have, basically no engine in the front, obviously, because it's a Porsche. Here we have a carbon fuel tank with 110 liters capacity, together with the adjustable brake cylinders so you can move the force between the front brakes and the rear brakes that the drivers use quite a lot during the driving.
Okay, so that's possible to adjust during the actual driving?
Yes, they do it actually. Some drivers do it quite a lot during driving, because some corners it's better when you have a more front brake, and some corners it's better when you have a more rear brake, for example.
Okay, so that's possible to adjust inside of the car basically?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, besides that it's just empty space basically?
Yes, and also here we have air jacks to be able to lift the car with the compressed air, to make a quick tire change, for example. We are running on full slicks, as you can see here, together with the center lock, with the center nut.
Do you know, I mean, is it possible for a private person to buy these tires?
Yes, but you cannot, these are not street legal. So you cannot use it on public roads. You can only use it for
track.
For the track.
So it's possible for a private person to buy these and put on a Porsche, basically, and then.
Yes, I would say so.
Okay.
So if you come along, and here in the front we have steel brakes.
Is there any reason why you don't do ceramic?
Yes, it's basically costs. They are much more expensive, the ceramic brakes, than the steel. And it's basically to put down the cost for the teams. Okay. These brakes they don't last very long, so we change them quite often.
But the stopping power is quite similar.
Yes. Yes.
Is there any different pads that you're using from?
Yes, in our series in Carrera Cup Scandinavia, we are using all the teams using the same pads. But if you, for example, do long distance, then you obviously have a much harder compound of the pads that last longer. Okay.
But all the cars basically that lines up has the same pad.
Yes. Okay. Correct. With the adjustable suspension, what we do basically when we do the wheel alignment, we do it quite often to be able to adjust. There is three main things that we can adjust on those cars. It's a camber, which is the angle of the wheel this way. There is a toe, which is this angle, and there is also ride height. So basically that's the main things that we can adjust on a car.
How often do you change that?
Sometimes 3 times a day, sometimes once a day. It depends if we find a good setting straight away, or if we need to do some adjustment. We do it quite often actually, because there is a lot of force on the car, and cars are going over the curbs and so on. So you need to have a good, you need to have a check sometimes if everything is still straight.
Do you have like a base setting for different tracks? Or how does it work? Yes,
we do. Of course, there is a different tracks, and sometimes you need to have more angle, more toe, more camber, more ride height. It depends from track to track, basically. Okay. So what we do basically is we put the car on these tables, which is completely flat. We adjust them from every time when we go to a new garage. We adjust them so they're perfectly flat. And instead of wheels, we have these wheel hubs, and they are the same size as the wheels, so it's much easier for us to go and do the change of the camber and toe and yeah, all those parts.
Okay, so basically the car is higher up, and then you put this
Exactly.
one.
We put this under. We put this. Here we have a special surface so the whole thing can glide easily, so there is no any pressure on the wheels, basically, because if we would have put the tire here, there would be a lot of friction. So all the measurements wouldn't be correct, basically.
Okay.
And the next thing is basically the cockpit.
One question: do you build these cars yourself, or?
No, these cars are you buy them straight from the Porsche, the dealership. These are race ready, so it's a factory built race car straight from the Porsche with the full support from Porsche. So basically all the parts you buy it from them, which is very good for us because that means that we don't need to have build on ourselves all the parts. You can just buy it straight from the factory, and you're 100% sure that they work.
All the cars that it goes in a Gt3 Cup, are they the same even though it's like France or Germany? Or?
Yes, that's exactly the same car in all the series around the world. It doesn't matter if it's US or France, or Germany, Sweden. All the cars are exactly the same. So, which means that you can buy a car in Sweden and you can take the car and start in Germany, France, wherever you like. So these are all the same. Yeah, so here we have a cockpit. You can see there's a big screen, a big dash in front. Here is the driver's area. You can see all the information, the water temperature, oil temperature, water pressure, fuel level, oil pressure, and so on. Gearbox, it's quite a lot of information here. You can also switch the sides, different informations basically. You have a track layout for the driver while he's sitting in the car to go through the track and each corner. It's quite useful actually.
But that is not something that the driver is looking at while driving, right?
No, while driving the main thing that they look is here is a lap time and the difference between the time difference. Here when they make fast lap, then they can compare next lap that they go, it's red, either goes red, means that the current lap is slower, or it goes green, which means that you are faster than the previous lap.
Okay. Where was it possible to adjust the brake?
It's here on this side. There's a wheel.
Yeah.
So you can see you adjusting more brake balance to the front every turn, and this as I said before, the drivers do it while driving basically.
Okay. I mean, normally, how often? I mean, I know that it can depend on the driver, but how much would you say that a driver that changes it a lot? How many times will he do it, or he or she do it per lap? 2
or 3 times. It depends. Sometimes they don't do it at all. Sometimes it's one adjustment is good enough, but at some tracks it goes faster if you adjust it during let's say half a lap. It's this type of corners. Here we have also radio communication, so we can speak with the driver during the driving. If there is any situation on the track, we'll inform him, or all the kinds of information that he needs to know.
Nice. Otherwise it's just 2 seats and a roll cage basically.
Yes, normally it's 1 seat. Here it's 2 seats only because we are for testing. So
and the doors
are full carbon spec with a special kind of handle. To save the weight.
Yeah, and those are, I know, they are super light. I mean, it's like air.
Yes, basically.
It's insane.
Yes, and here we have an engine. It's a 4-liter boxer engine that produces 510 horsepower. with 470 Newton meters. It's the same engine as you have in a standard 911 GT3 RS.
Exactly the same engine?
It's exactly the same, yes.
So it's not one single bit basically that's different from the street legal car? Okay.
It's not. You have adjustable rear wing. As you can see, there is a lot of different positions on it. From flat to maximum. It's basically one of two aerodynamic components that we can use. This is the only one that we can adjust. The other one we have in the front. It's a front splitter, we call it. It's the lip on the bottom of the bumper. And it's basically two aerodynamics that we have on those cars.
Okay. And the gearbox is
6-speed gearbox with the paddle shifts. It's electronical actuator that makes the gear changes.
But that's not the same as the street
car?
Okay.
No, it's not.
How much are you allowed to change on the car from basically when it's delivered to you?
Basically what we do, it's the cars are coming race ready, so you can literally just start up the car and go on the track. What we usually do, of course, we put our own setup that we think it's right for the car, obviously. And what we do, we put the radio system, we put a V-Box system. It's all the cameras in the car. We have two cameras, one on the driver, one on the track. When we have a break between the races or between the tests, then we usually go through every single corner twice, 3 times, 4 times, every single detail, exactly where the driver is braking, how early he goes on the throttle, how much steering angle, how much load there is on the tires. There is all the little details that you need.
You're not doing any mods on the car because that's not allowed, right?
No, that's correct. That it's not allowed. All the cars have to be exactly the same. Not a single bolt can be changed.
No.
Each car is the same.
So what do you have to play with basically is the rear wing and wheel alignment?
Yes, it's a wheel alignment, the camber, toe, ride height and the wing. That's basically it. Also we can put the different weight distribution.
Okay.
Yeah, we can change the weight distribution between the front, basically on each wheel.
And you also touched the subject a little bit about data and how much you're collecting. And I mean, I see quite a lot that you analyze, like maybe 40% of the time, maybe 60% driving and 40% analyzing data.
Pretty much, yes. It's pretty much similar. The amount of time they're spending on the track, it's double amount in the computer. Later on, every corner is analyzed, and every braking point, every single thing, every single thing. What
would you say? I mean, after working with this for quite a long time now, what is the most common fault drivers do when you're analyzing the data?
Yeah, it depends from driver to driver, of course.
Or more like what is mostly the topic that needs to be changed when analyzing the data?
When analyzing the data, it's basically the braking points. It's a big focus on, because if you brake 5 meters later, it can mean that you will lose the time all the way until the next corner. So it's very crucial.
So to summarize, it's the engine is the same.
Engine is the same, yes.
The rest of the car is, maybe the chassis is the same as
yes, the chassis and some of the panels, of course. Mainly, most of the components is made from carbon, so that's what it's a bit different from the standard 911.
Yeah. But besides that, it's it's a race car.
It's a race car. It's different brakes, different wheels, different tires, different components on the car, like plastic, bumpers, and the whole inside is ripped out basically, so it's maximum weight saving.
Yeah, but the heart is the same.
Heart is the same, exactly.
Yeah, okay. That's really good. Thank you very much. And if there is any questions, basically drop them in the comment, and we will make sure that we will make sure that Piotrek is answering it. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.